Welcome back to Million Dollar Listening. I have a special guest today. I've known for many, many years. Probably one of the biggest hustlers you're going to find in our industry. This guy gets after it. Norman Kinsey, liftoff agent. Thank you, my brother, for coming in. I truly appreciate it. I know you're going to bring tons of value, man, today. So agents, listen up, man. This is a third party. This isn't a broker. This isn't an agent. This is a company who helps agents grow their business in the marketing platforms in general. So Norman, thank you again. Before we kind of get started, man, I always like people get to know who you are, what you do. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, first and foremost, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Chris, you've always been a huge supporter, which has been a huge blessing because in the community of real estate and just in the entrepreneur community, like we had to help each other, right? To be able to grow and have success, and we need to have feedback. And you've always been amazing. The local association there, and actually used to be in the Bay Area, now over here in Gilbert, Arizona. And with the digital and technology these days, like I still feel like we're connected, even though we're not as close as far as living wise. But I got a 4-year-old daughter. She's amazing. She'll be 5 in September on the 15th. I have a wife who's a full-time entrepreneur. We retired her about 8 months ago. Shout out Red Zentico. She's international team master. She's crushing it. So we're both very blessed to control our schedules and work from home, which is awesome. And yeah, I actually was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Antioch area. Graduated Foothill High School in 2005. I see a lot of things in my life that a lot of individuals should not see, from abuse to drugs and alcohol. And I really raised above it. I always had this kind of like driver kind of hustle mentality. My aunt told me that, and she was always a hustler too. And I looked up to her. And so, yeah, so I basically graduated high school, was working a lot of just different jobs. And I never saw that I could be an asset to a company because everyone said, just do your job. And when I asked questions, they said, stop asking questions and just do your job. So I'm like, interesting. So it all came out to the part where I was selling cars for 3.5 years. I was going to go to school to work on cars. And a guy actually, after I bought a Dodge Charger back in 06, came in with some money. That was a horrible decision to make as far as buying a cool car with money that you come into. You should buy real estate or investments.
There you go. Lesson learned.
Yeah, and he was just like, "What do you do?" I'm going to school. He's like, "I love your personality. I love your energy. I think you should be in car sales." Did it for 3.5 years, and the straw that broke the camel's back was the general manager. Usually, a new general manager would come in, new GM to a brokerage or a dealership, and he was this up my ass. And I don't know if he didn't like me or he wanted to pick on me or whatever. And I remember the last day I worked for anyone was the day of me telling him to fuck himself on a 3-day weekend. It was a Monday, and it was like I had 3 appointments. I was going to do a hat trip, which when you sell 3 cars.
Yeah.
And me home, and I said, never again will I work for someone ever again. I want to be my own best asset. I'm gonna show up for other people the way I wish they would show up for me. And so, from a learning disability, diagnosed with colitis, it's large intestine inflammation, and being told that I would have to be on medication my whole life, to stop asking questions and just do your job, to now owning my own company, leading by example, and 100% being in control of my life. And I'm ready for the next segment of control, which is going to be more freedom with my family and freedom with my hobbies and things that I want to do. But yeah, it's a little bit of my backstory and a little bit about me.
I love it. And honestly, guys, if you guys don't follow Norman, we'll definitely throw some plugs in here for him for sure. But follow him on Instagram, YouTube. He's got tons of stuff, tons of value. Actually, while we're out of here, go ahead and what's your website for people? They can kind of just go ahead and follow you and do all that kind of good stuff.
So on the personal side, it's just Real. It's at Real NLK3 NLKIII. I don't really do a whole lot of like specific things for real estate or podcasts or events and the things I do in the real estate sector. You could go into that Instagram page, click the link, and you can find out about Liftoff. You can find out about Real Estate First Technology. I have a podcast as well. But personally, I just love to show up. I love to show up. I love to give stories, talk about things that inspire other people. This morning, I just did a video about we're on our 5th flip. There's a lot of retirement communities here in Arizona. And there's a 55 plus community that I'm looking at potentially purchasing. There's 275 parcels on it, and there's about $800 lot rent per parcel. So in a perfect world, it's $220,000 per month worth of $4 million a year. It's probably a little less than that, but I'm working with one of our clients out here. Shout out Mr. Justin Mercer, Call Tattoo. He's a rainbow guy with all the billboards. He's crushing it in the market. And I said, I want to buy this property. I said, let's work. And he said, all right, let's make it happen.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And knowing a little bit about your personal life before we get into the real estate aspects and the business and all that stuff, like
Yeah.
razors, moved to Arizona, outdoor guy. I'm like, my man, he, went from the Bears is like, let's get outside, let's go have some fun. I'm gonna buy me some toys, right? So I love it.
Yes.
I love it for
Yes.
sure. And you can follow that on his Instagram, on his personal page. I promise you, it's pretty fun. We have a kind of a connection there a little bit. Family does a lot of quads and razors and sand rails, and we do a bunch of that stuff too. It's fun, and it's a great time. Oh, there it is.
The newest addition is the 2016 Nissan GTR, by my first supercar.
There you go, my man. Set goals and go get it.
Gotta get it, man. That's a long-term goal.
Love it, love it, love it. So I brought Norman on. You guys are probably asking why to bring Norman on. I've known him for many, many years, and there's a few things that I love about Norman. He is who he is, right? So for agents out there, people out there in general, Norman is who he is. He's authentic as it gets, and that is something that you always need to appreciate in people, right? So I love that about Norman. Number two, he's a go-getter, and I agree with him. He's definitely not an employee mindset. When I met him, he was definitely more like, no. I'll run the show. I'll get shit done. I'll make things happen. Like, just get out of my way and let me do my thing, right? So you got to love that. He's authentic. He's going to get after it. He's going to make things happen. But I think the thing that I think a lot of people need to understand about you that maybe some people don't, that don't know you at least yet currently, is you're also willing to take risk. And I think any entrepreneur in this industry or even outside of this industry, there's one thing that they all have in common in some avenue, and it's a risk-taking. They have a feel for risk. They're not scared of risk. It doesn't mean they just go jump out of a plane with no parachute. Well, that's not what we're getting at today. But they take risk and they're calculated, but they also do one more thing. So those three. The fourth one is they bet on themselves. And my friend Norman has bet on himself. So if those people out there who just, maybe tired of the employee mindset of somebody telling them what to do or the 9 to 5 or just don't really know, just follow Norman, pay attention to what he does in life, because I promise you're going to see those 4 things pretty much on the daily, like every single day. And then family and friends and all the fun stuff too as well. But those 4 things you'll definitely see. So I brought Norman here. Like I said, he has a company called Liftoff Agent, phenomenal marketing platform. Tell us a little bit about Liftoff Agent and kind of how it started, because I know where it's at now is definitely different than where it started, right? Kind of take us on that journey. So as people who are listening in, agents or whoever's listening in currently, can understand, like, just because you started something doesn't mean that's where it ends, right? There's always different changes to a company to get to where you are now. So kind of give us a little bit of that timeline and the changes that you've made along the way.
Yeah, most definitely. So it kind of started Personal Assistance Incorporated in Arizona, which is kind of interesting. Talk about a full circle moment. I basically had a friend of mine that I moved back to Arizona, and their friends were doing commercial real estate and paying their friends to do laundry, chores, errands, various different things. And it was like a light bulb moment. So I was like, came back to the Bay Area after moving my friend Tanner was his name, back to, this is probably 2008, 2009, back to Arizona. I was just like, I graduated 2005. So not too far after I graduated, I was like, let me see about, I was going to do like a vending company, and I was going to do energy drinks at colleges, and then that didn't work out. I was doing some research on that. And then I stumbled upon potentially doing like chores and errands and having like a concierge service. And I thought to myself, like, I live in Dublin, Livermore, Pleasanton, Black Hawk, Alamo. Like, there's a lot of people with a lot of money. So maybe I can help these individuals. What I didn't know was I really didn't have a clear focus. It's like, is it a cleaning business? Like, is it a dog walking business? Is it chauffeuring? Are you selling stuff online? I was doing all the things. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I was just,
so if you're going to pay me, I will do it. I will be there.
Exactly. So lesson learned, like get focused. Who's your target demographic? Like, who are you serving? Like, what are you doing? Get your numbers right. Do tons of research. Don't just try to help everyone. And then during this time too, I'm doing like parties and promotions. And before I was NLK3, which is just Norman Lloyd Kinsey III abbreviated, it was Storm and Norman Entertainment and S&E Productions and doing all this crazy stuff in my 20s. And like, it was fun, but I learned a lot of lessons. I fall on my face tons of times. And then I got to a point in 2008, 2009, the market's shitty during this time. I want to serve an industry. I know I need to get more focused. I found a boutique brokerage, which Chris knows about, and maybe some people out there who's listening knows about, J. Rockcliffe Realtors.
Yep.
So I called 350 J. Rockcliffe agents and said, tell me about your business. I wasn't saying, hey, I have like a great service or I want to help you. Nothing. I just said, tell me about your business. They said, we want it. A couple things that came up. We want to be different from our colleagues. We don't want to look like everyone else with the same branding. We want to be able to have the same support, whether we're new in the business or we're a top performer. And we want to be able to have control from one broker to the next broker, from like website tech tools, because anyone out there listening, you go to one brokerage, you have all these amazing tools. God forbid something doesn't work out, you go to the next one, and you got to start all over again, whether it's a CRM system, your customer relationship management tool, or your website, and the list goes on and on and on. So fast forward, after calling those 350 agents, we're just doing social media ad agency stuff, like posting on social media at $99 a month. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And so it's growing, right? And we're like, we need something more sticky. So that's the thing. Hey, websites. If an agent has a website, like they're not going to turn off their website. That's like closing their business, which a lot of agents out there shut down their website. They don't think that has anything to do with their business, which is another story. So
dive into that a little bit here for sure. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little tease for later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get into that. And so now I'm like, okay, what's next? And so we started to evolve and started to think about because you look at like, and I'm just gonna throw out names. There's Agent Fire, there's Luxury Presence, there's Agent Image, there's a bunch of companies you could say, and the two we get compared to the most, which I'm very humbled to say because Liftoff Agent isn't that old, is Agent Image and Luxury Presence. Those are the two that we get compared to. And those are two big top dogs with like Ryan, Josh Altman. Like you got some big players in the game that are.
Top Ferry sponsors them. Absolutely.
Yes.
Or they sponsor Top Ferry. They're in the ecosystem. No, they're big dogs for sure. No problem.
Yes. So we're the underground rapper that no one knows about, but you better watch out because we're coming in with the heat.
So, love it. You hear that, guys? Liftoff Agent coming for you.
Let's go. So basically, it was personal assistance. Then we changed the name to Support RE as we started to understand like what we're going to do, websites, social media updating, things like that. And then we fast forward now almost 9 years in the industry. I've met well over 7,000 to 8,000 agents. Probably served about 3,000 to 4,000 agents as far as building a website, setting up social media, whatever. And now we're pushing 160 plus agents in 12 states. We went from personal assistance, Support RE. People would be like, RE support? Like, what? No, it's Support RE for Support Real Estate. A Liftoff Agent, which is going to be like now the brand. Like, let's lift you off. And then we thought to ourselves, if Agent Image, Luxury Presence, all these other companies are saying, like, here's a menu of shit, right? You want a website? We could do it. You want ads? We could do it. You want retargeting? We could do it. I said, no, let's have like a growth plan, whether it's podcasts, events, free resources. Don't pay us a dime. Or you want to get into startup, which is like, hey, let's build your brands, build your foundation. Let's get focused on who you want to target. Talk about full circle. I was all over the place. I was like, hey, let's get focused. And so let's put together lead pages for first-time home buyers or move-up buyers and sellers or say area content. And so then now we have startup with us. It's just branding website, lead pages, then ramp up with us, getting into social, same as startup, and now we're getting into social and getting your YouTube set up. And we just launched Scale Up, which now gives you anywhere from 4 to 8 videos from thumbnail, copy to editing. We're doing it A to Z. So you have like your VIP plan. So you can start as cheap as like $2,000 without a brand to get started and a couple $100 a month startup, or you could pay us $5,000 to $6,000 startup costs and pay us $2,000 a month. So it just depends on kind of where you lie. And so that's basically been the progression of like listening, learning, understanding, and crafting a better business model that's going to serve this industry. Because a couple things we found out is agents don't have a marketing degree, don't have a business degree. They'll take spaghetti, they'll throw it at the wall to see what sticks. And so we want to help agents have more of a solid foundation, SOPs, standard operating procedures, KPIs, key performance indicators, and for them to focus on income producing activities. So we have now some pretty big models, Levi Lassick, living in Dallas, Texas, passive prospecting. We take care of all their stuff, their websites and what have you. A guy who's underground, people don't know about, his name is Adam Hancock. I have a meeting with him tomorrow. We're already building 3 sites. This guy in 2019 kicked off his YouTube channel. 2019, 2020, 2021, built a team from zero to hero, did $300 million in transaction volume. His YouTube channel, it's called the Florida Relocation Guy. So he's very underground. He doesn't do agent attraction, nothing like that, has his own boutique brokerage, and we're potentially going to help with agent attraction and so much more. So that kind of gives you, in a nutshell, who we are and how we started from like personal assistant serving everyone to support our read to now lift off agent, being more focused, being more deliberate. And I think we're still ahead of the market as far as the direction we're going into and our goals. And I think that a lot of agents are kind of slow to get into adapting to technology and getting on video and just leveraging their past efforts for future successes.
Oh, 100%. And I love that, guys. And you heard, I'm just going to break a few things down there, 100% of what you said.
Yeah.
Because there's a few things in there. And I think, part of what we like to do here is get people to understand, like, we're not perfect. We all make mistakes. If I told you that everything we've done at E3 Realty was a success, I'd be lying to you.
Yeah.
On our face a bunch of times to get where we are. And you know what? That's part of life. That's part of business. Part of taking that risk we talked about earlier when I said, hey, there's certain things you're going to see about Norman and you're going to see with entrepreneurs is you talk to them, man, they take risk. And you know what?
Yeah.
They fail. You know what they do? They dust themselves off. They make changes. We have a saying that we go by: adapt, migrate, or fail. Right? Things come up, you either adapt, you migrate, or you fail. You got to choose one of the options, right? And so you gotta know you gotta pivot, right? And so, as you guys saw, his mind was always, I'm gonna make it work. He never once during that whole entire time frame. And I know we all do feel like sometimes we want to quit. Let's say we all do, right? Like, I just gonna quit, done, right? But you saw that whole entire time he just goes, I need to get more focused. I need to have a better business plan. I need to know exactly who my clientele demographic is. I need to provide value to them. I need to show them what they're missing and what they're lacking. I need to take weight off. And did you hear something else, guys? He called 350 agents and did not pitch them a single thing. Just asked them, tell me about your business.
Yep.
That is brilliant, right? People ask us, like, well, what do you guys do? How do you do this? Sometimes, most of the time in our industry, we get straight to trying to close somebody on something. Stop trying to close people. Just, how about you just ask questions and listen? Because that is what sales is. It's listening, 70% of it. Get the information that you need so you can figure out how you can provide a solution to the problem. And that's basically what Norman has done. Is he sat back, he's done his, it's been 12 years now or so. He's talked to so many agents, 7, 8, 10,000 agents now. He pretty much understands, like, okay, the agents, they need certain things. They need marketing, right? They need support, these types of things. Websites, right? They know that they're not going to turn down a website, right? Because at the end of the day, that's your brand, right? I know we'll get into a little bit probably with the SEO and YouTubes and all the other stuff in general, but that's all amazing stuff, Norman. So amazing job. Keep up the great work, man. I love it. And Levi, much love to Levi. Got his course. Phenomenal job, Levi. You've done a phenomenal job on YouTube. Keep up the great work. Let's go. Absolutely, man. Hey, I'm always going to cheerlead, man. I'm never going to be the person ever, man. No, Levi, keep crushing. Norm, keep crushing, man. Like, it's all good. Like, you should help. You want people to succeed in life, right? Look up to people, right? If you're ever thinking down on people, like, hey, I wish they was. No. Wrong line. So you don't want people to fail. You want people to grow. They fall, back up, keep pushing them, cheer them on. So you've been in this industry, and we've seen a kind of crazy market, right? Let's keep it real. The last, 2 years have been kind of crazy, right? We went from, hold up, we can't sell a home, COVID hit, we were locked up, couldn't do it, to, I think we popped this bad boy in 6th gear with 1,000 horsepower and just, right? And then out of nowhere, we hit the brake, right? We literally hit the brake in a 1,000 horsepower car, and rates doubled overnight.
Yes.
Wow, right? I don't think people understand kind of like, they just, real estate is not something they talk about every day, but think about it. That's really what happened, right? Like, literally, we went 6th gear in a 1,000 horsepower car, and then we just slammed on the brake, basically, and we've started a rebound, which is awesome, and the industry is doing well, and it's still going to do well. But tell me a little bit about what you're seeing. 2 things. Number one, tell me what you're seeing agents doing that has been successful in the current new market, and then go the other way for us as well. So what are you seeing? Like, if you had to talk to agents today, tell them how you can help them grow their business or something that that they should be doing right now in the current market, what would that be?
I would say, and I love this word, and I like the word for the word, shout out, and I don't want to make this about Levi Lassie, all those guys. I just like the word passive prospecting, or like the words, 2 words, because I feel like a lot of what we're seeing now is agents being smart and saying, hey, you know what? Like, if I want to build a team, if I want to double or triple my production, and I'm seeing what's happening in the market, like, how about I film videos talking about the market and talking about what we're seeing now is a lot of creative ways to buy home, whether it's sub two, and a lot of people talk about that, especially that's coming from Peace Morby, and various creative financial ways, various creative ways to be able to sub two from, like, if rates really high right now, let's talk about how we could potentially take over that mortgage and then have the deed of the property be put into now my name. And now, but the mortgage is still underneath that original owner at 2.75, which my wife and I are at, because that's when we bought our home next in 2020 when the market was shit. And so that's where I feel like if agents could really think about like what could you do to be able to have more success in any type of market. I know we're talking about where we're at now. It's passive prospecting, filming videos, educating, because people buy from someone they know, like, and trust, man. If you're putting yourself out there on video and social media and you're being your true authentic self and you're passive prospecting, whether you're at dinner with your family, you're on the dunes, you're in a formal listing presentation, I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to be able to have that opportunity to passive prospect, build a know, like, and trust, and earn business in their sleep?
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, our company in general, we have a huge, this is my office studio we shoot content in, right? We have 2 other studios for agents to come in and shoot content, right? Because you're right. You have to get out. Like, I can't make enough calls, guys, just so you guys are understanding. I couldn't make as many calls or emails, even at mass email or mass text, as I can on social media.
Yeah.
Right? Your YouTube, your social media impressions and things that you can do with retargeting as fast as possible. It will go farther, quicker, and like you said, basically work while you're sleeping, right? Because that's really what you're trying to do. Like, if I had to be awake to market myself, I'd be missing out on a massive amount of people, right?
Yeah.
People have different schedules and everything else. So super, super important, guys. Hear it from Norman, you're hearing it from me. If you're not doing video, you're not doing passive marketing, you're not getting out to people and retargeting them based off of, educating clients and consumers. Because at the end of the day, like Norman said, people who they like, love, and trust, right?
Yeah.
I can do 200 videos. You could basically know who I am before I walk into your house, right?
Yep.
And know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get this, a polo and shorts, guaranteed. And Adidas shoes. Look, I ain't even kidding. Adidas shoes. This is what you're going to see. I can't even pull my leg up that high. I hurt myself. I love it. But that's what you're going to get. So if I come over with a suit now, you're going to be like, all right, this guy's not being real. Right? Like, that's what you have to understand. Like, people are going to see through that kind of stuff. Like, I wear shorts, I wear Adidas shoes, I wear polos every single day, different colors, different whatever. But that's me. That's who I am. I'm not changing who I am for you to help me help you, right? So knowing those types of things are super important. So passive prospecting, guys, you have to have stuff marketing working while you're sleeping, guys. You need to shoot tons of video content. You need to educate people. And you need to retarget your database and make sure that they know who you are when they're ready. Top of mind, is the most important thing. So passive, for sure, 100%. And that doesn't mean agents. That doesn't mean if you're buying leads, don't call your leads. That's not telling you to do that. If you call leads, please call your leads. Right? If you buy leads, call them. Right? Email marketing, please do that still. Right? You should definitely have a newsletter going out. Like, we're not saying stop everything and do one. But we are saying one of the smartest things to do in 2023 is passive prospecting. Shout out to Levi, amazing course. Now let's talk about the other side.
Yeah,
I know some agents are succeeding in the current market, and let's keep it real, guys. The market is normal and healthy. I know that people want to make it seem like it's not that. We were just very spoiled the last couple of years. Yeah. This is a normal, healthy market where you do the work, you succeed, right? Compared to the other market where they kind of fall in your lap, right? Let's keep it real. That party's moving away. The people who put the work in and built the systems and built the funnels, they're reaping their benefits for their long-term success, right? That being said, what are you seeing on the other side? What are you seeing from the struggling agent that just isn't really knowing where to go or how to do what they need to do to get a deal in this current business?
Yeah, most definitely. No, it's a great question. I think what I'm seeing the most of is that they're too focused on what they look like in the mirror, who's talking about what, and what the media is saying. If they were to just stay focused on what they're doing and what they can control, then they would have more success. Because at the end of the day, like, it's not a straight line. Chris, you know this. Like, you don't just like, oh, straight line is success. Now I'm a millionaire. Like, sometimes you're gonna make odds and you leave it, man. So a 12-round boxing ring. Yeah. Boom. Exactly. And so So like a quick story, COVID hits, right? It's
Yeah.
2020, COVID hits. So the first thing that I thought about was educating the agents on the contrary. Like, what do you need to be doing? You need to be like doubling down your business, doing more videos, getting on social media, more text, more email, more calls, more reaching out. Because at the end of the day, it's almost like a fight for eyeballs. It's like a fight for attention. Like, oh, the media is saying all this, so this is what it must be. Well, okay, great. I get it, right? Oh, my grandma, she just got, I understand. I get it. And what's happening in your current ecosystem? When you walk into your house, you see your wife, you see your kids, you see your spouse, you see whoever. What's happening in your immediate situation? Well, I'm up, I'm awake, I just had breakfast. Okay, great. Like, I think too many people think about all these things instead of thinking about like The Power of Now. Is a really good book. I love that book because people are either in the past or they're in the future, and they're not in the present, and they're not thinking to themselves like, okay, what do I want to achieve? And like one of the things that we want to achieve this month is $100,000 a month. That's the goal for Liftoff, $100,000 a month in income. And so I don't know how exactly it's going to happen, but I'm going to stick with that. And right before the podcast, I got off a phone call with the builder who basically he came from passive prospecting because we're in the course. And so we had a strategy session. After the strategy session, he refers me to this guy, this video. Then he calls me back. He's like, Norm, I don't think you know what's going down here. What's going down? He's like, well, I got this. I built homes. Last year I did about 10 to 15. This year I'm going to do 30 to 40. I got this and that going on, all the things. So I don't want just one site. I want to do 2 sites with you guys. I'm like, oh, okay. So I got this, and this going down, and this is what's going to happen. I love it, right? And then I'm meeting with another guy who's a big name in the industry next Monday, and so that's going to be another opportunity. Don't know how, just know that like this is the goal, and it doesn't matter if the media says we're all dying tomorrow or it's sunshines and rainbows. Like I'm still going to just focus on what I need to do to get my shit done, and that's what I think that agents should do.
And that's the truth, guys. Like you can control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
And we see it all the time, right? And don't get me wrong, I get it. We all have lives. We're human. There's things that happen in them, right? From kids playing sports to things that are on the house, but all of those things, right? But I agree with you with this. I mean, it's got to be a priority, and this is what I tell every agent. So listen, if it's priority, it gets done.
Yes.
I don't care when it gets done. I don't really care. It's not a priority if it doesn't get done. Okay. And those are things you can focus on. You could say, I want to, normally say I want to do $100,000 a month and then go to sleep right now after this podcast for 6 hours and then not do nothing. That's an option, right? But then, right, that could be true, right? It can be true. It's not going to do that. I know Norman, but
yeah,
but that could happen, right? Then you can look up next month and be like, well, I didn't reach it. Well, that's because you slept for 6 hours for 4 days. Or do what you were supposed to do to get to where you wanted to go, right? Every day he's hitting his task and daily functions every single day to make sure he's making progress to his long-term goal. And he knows how to, and most agents that are successful know how to take the little wins along the way and understand that it's not an end of the month if he doesn't get to 100 grand. He knows he's getting closer and closer by each day putting in the work, right?
Yes.
And so, and that's the thing about sometimes I think agents, a lot of the newer agents especially, and I get it, man. I was a new agent at one point, right? I mean, I'm fully aware of understanding it, but we're in a commission-based business. You're in a business, same concept. It's commission-based, right? If I don't do the work, I don't get paid, period. There's no way around it, right? Where, people see real estate from, I know we mentioned a few $1 million listing agents and stuff, right? We see stuff on TV and it looks like it's super easy to sell real estate, right? So people come into the real estate industry and then they realize, hold up, I got to do how many hours of prospecting before I potentially get a deal, before I pick up a client, and then I still got to this, that, and other. And I think it's an eye-opener for a lot of agents, and you're starting to see that kind of already. I think NAR already came out with 60,000 agents have left the industry already this year. And
I saw that.
They're projecting, probably 300,000 to 400,000 by the end of next year. I would be shocked if it's not, especially at the amount of transactions we're seeing at 4.5 billion, right? If rates stay high for a long period of time, it's going to be very tough for agents to make a healthy income here, right? Now, the ones that do a lot of business, they're going to pick up more market share, right? They built their systems, they built their funnels, they build their, they know for sure, I'm going to get more and more business because my systems are running. If you're not in that boat, right? And if you're a new agent right now and you're struggling, recommendation that I'd give to any new agent right now is if you're struggling right now, go find a mentor and go find a team to join and put your head down and learn and just grow the next 2 years. Just grow. Just learn, and go. Some heads up there. So we've talked about a lot today, Norman. I want to get a couple more questions in before we head out. But I mean, we talked about, who Norman is, entrepreneur, his company from start to finish, where he's in his third, basically final brand, liftoff agent, right? I remember Sport RE. I remember all of that at the old associations and stuff. I remember all of it, right? So it's kind of cool to see kind of all this journey going. And guys, just so you know, I've known Norman for probably 6, 7, 8 years now, right? And I've seen a lot of what he's talking about, guys. Like I've been watching him from distance and from close, and just realizing he's really starting to get into his own. He's really starting to see exactly who his clientele is. He knows exactly who he is and what he's going after and who his database is. And that's what you have to do as an agent too. So,
yes.
All right. So we talked about also what we need to do is passive prospecting if you're in 2023 as an agent. Then we talked about, basically focusing right now, currently in the market, control what you can control and everything else. Yeah. Now, I want you to it's okay. I want you to pitch your product, right? Because you're here. I appreciate you coming on. I want you to tell us, I know a little bit about your product. I know they know a little about your product, but tell me, if I was an agent and I need to build a website or I need this, that, and the other, just tell me why I'm going to lift off agent over everybody else. This is your plug.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think the biggest thing is understanding the difference between a SaaS product and a custom marketing and positioning agency. A SaaS product is what you're going to get from, say, and this isn't any ill will towards anyone, but when we're compared to, like, say, luxury presence, well, luxury presence is going SaaS model. What does that mean? That means it's a service sold as SaaS, which is it's like a template-based web development done for you on your own type offer, where for us, we're like the more of the premium, where it's like agents don't know what they don't know. So we got to start off with a strategy session to understand who you are, where you're going, why you want to go there, what's your focus, if you have a focus, what's your goal, if you have a goal, and if we're going to work with one another, what does the next 12 months even look like? I don't want anyone who's going to work with us at Liftoff if they don't have a clear understanding and focus of where they're going, versus a lot of the other companies out there that say, hey, we know what we have to offer. We know what agents need to have. So we're just going to sell this, and it's going to be a SaaS model, and it's going to be automated, and you're not going to meet anybody, and you basically just get what you need. And a lot of agents are thinking, oh, I just need a website because my top producer in my company has a website, and it's not the broker website. So I need to get a site that's not the broker website. Well, it's not that simple. You got to go deeper. Way deeper.
Dive into that a little bit, because, well, I'll tell you, and Norman's going to yell at me when I say this. So, okay, I love you, Norman. Don't yell at me. We went with Agent Image for our website, and I'll be honest with you guys, we regret it. 100%. We regret it. We got a refund, right? We went, and because of what he just said, right?
Yeah.
We were at Tom Ferry. We needed a website to basically have for our branding and all of that kind of stuff that we needed. Not for lead generation, nothing like that. But like, if you want to land on SEO, we want an SEO website to kind of help people know who we are and what we do.
Exactly.
And this is where my plugs are to come in again. It was like a bait and switch, guys. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, thank you to Agent Image for giving us our money back. We appreciate it. But like, it was a terrible experience. We're like, this is what we want. And we came back. What he just said about getting to know you, what your long-term goals are, that's not what they're going to do at most website companies. They're going to say, tell me what you want it to look like, and we can build it. Like, that's the process. Like, that is it in a nutshell. Tell me which one of things you like, and we'll build it for you. And we'll just get you a template, and then you'll go. What he's talking about is building a relationship with you. He wants to understand you. He wants to really make sure he fits the mold or the company that you're looking for, because he's building relationships. He's not building a website. And that's what you guys have done. It's the difference between Liftoff Agent. So when we do our next website, I will promise you we're coming to you.
Let's go, bro.
Sure, absolutely, man. And it's important to understand why we're doing that, is because, look, I've known him. What he's doing. He wants to build relationships with you because he wants a long-term business. He's not looking just to do a turnkey, flip your website off, take you every single month, thank you, appreciate it, and have a nice day. He wants to help grow your business and invest back into you, right? There's a big difference. So all of us make mistakes in life. I just showed you how I failed once right here on a podcast.
Well, it's okay. This is how it works in business. You have early adapters and the innovators, people that are willing to early adapt, willing to be a part of the new company that's innovating, right? But that's scary. Not everyone understands and not everyone wants to get into that, right? Especially if they're investing money and they don't want to lose any money. And like they don't, so when you think of agent image or luxury presence, that's mass market, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are becoming laggers. They're lagging to the party, and they're like, oh yeah, agent image, or oh yeah, luxury presence, and then they're going to that direction at the end of their prime, right? So we haven't even hit prime, and even when we do, we're going to make sure that we always keep our customers and the level of service at utmost top notch, 100%, the best out there, because a lot of these companies, they get big VC funding. And then when you get big VC funding and you got VCs like, hey, you're not hitting numbers. Hey, you're not hitting, then it doesn't matter about the human anymore.
No, it's all about profits.
Yeah, it's about profits.
All profits.
And so we're a privately owned company. And I'm 50% owner of this organization, and my partner's 50% owner of this organization. And we're not ever going to take money from anyone who's going to make us put pressure on profit first, because we care more so about our customer. And so that's where it's like, if you have a website in a perfect world, I'll just give you in a perfect world, your website should have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all your reviews feeding in from every social platform. They should automatically feed in. You should have all your listings there for saving searches, searching for properties, the whole nine. And you should have lead pages that are going to be funnels, not buy side, sell side, traditional stuff. I'm talking like, why is this person looking to buy their first home? Because they're millennial and these are the pain points, and then giving them a guide, and they download the guide and they see the video testimonials, and it goes deeper. So someone actually will spend more time on the website. And even if they don't download something and do something on your site, you can actually have a video testimonial retargeting the folks that go to your site from Instagram, from Facebook, even from, say, Google as well, to be able to get more exposure. So those are some things I would think that anyone listening, if you're going to go with those other companies, that's great. Just understand, like, do they have your best interest, or do they have the VCs at best interest? And then if you're thinking about your website, like, how are you going to use it?
Absolutely. And I would agree with everything he just said. I mean, I've hired so many tools and systems companies over the years, right? Trial and error, trial and error, right? You start building things up and you're realizing, okay, like, what is it that you're going to do at your website, right? And everything he just said is very, very important, guys, just so you know. Like, he wasn't saying the normal buy seller that you're going to see on, those websites that we're not trying to bash agent image or luxury presence.
Yeah.
They're well-known companies, guys. That's not what we're here to do. But there is a big difference okay, here, we'll put these tabs up here, but what do you want there? They don't tell you like, hey, these are what we recommend. These are the videos we want you to shoot, or this is the guide that we can recommend. You guys can rebrand.
Yes.
You can download it.
Yes.
Do you guys understand, like, there's a big difference of a partnership, of understanding, like, what is your long-term goal of your website? And how can we not just build a template and say, here you go, but how can we get this thing, basically, let's use a car for it. How do we get this engine revving? How do we get this car going, right? Because a website without proper SEO, website without proper lead funnels, a website without, the stuff that the consumer wants to see, what are you really doing, right? You just will say, I need a website. So we don't want that, right? So that's what Norman's talking about, is like building the website to be a well-oiled machine that's actually producing, because at the end of the day, when it's producing business, that means it becomes free. Now that website can become an ROI product and not just a
Correct.
expense on your balance sheet, right? Because now it's bringing in business, right? Bringing in business, the cost is coming from there and all of that kind of good stuff. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But that all kind of plays in there for sure. So I wanted to make sure we guys can get that. Now, I'm going to make sure when we send out all this stuff out, I'll have Norman's website. We'll make sure we have all the stuff for you guys when we post this, so you guys can kind of go on, take a look at what he does. He's got so many great things on there. And agents, if you haven't been to Liftoff Agent and went to the website, he's got resources there for you guys to download. I've looked at it, and I've played around with his website. He's got tons of stuff there for you.
There's lots, brand new.
Always make sure you guys are checking his stuff out. He's always on top of his game there for sure. So I guess I know a little bit, and I always like to make sure when we have people who come on, I always want to get an idea. Not that this is a script or anything, anyway, just so you guys know, this is all natural. Me and Norman just come on and we talk, just like most people, but there's a script called FROG for you agents out there, right? Like family, recreation, occupation, and goal, right? Like there, then there's Ford and everything else, right? But for me, I like to know your goals for next year. And the reason why I like to know your goal for next year isn't for a script reason. It's literally, so the next time we chat, I'm going to check in with you, you're going to check in with me, and we're going to just be accountability partners on it until we get to where we wanted to go, right?
Let's go.
Because I think that's the reality of it, of watching people grow, right? So what's the goal for you for 2024? Like, what are like, end of 2024, how do you see Liftoff Agent being? Where would you like to be?
I mean, I would like to see that this year going into next year is going to be one of our breakthrough years, or we break through to the next level. I know at the end of the year, our goal is to have 260 agents and 1.5 million top line revenue. So next year, I would like to see, and it's a lofty goal. For some reason, I'm seeing 4 million. So I would like to see 4 million, and I would like to see probably 300 to 400 agents on the platform. Us serving them, supporting them, and going through that process is where I like to see lift off, and then really be able to have more agents and more individuals in the industry look at us as a resource to take them to another level that they maybe never thought before, and for us to be that single solution for these agents from multiple different angles outside of just like, you can hire coaching companies, a lot of coaching companies out there, or hire a website company, or there's different companies you can hire. We want to be that single solution. So I see a lot more agents saying, you got to check out Liftoff. They're amazing. Like if you're in the industry, whether you're getting started, you're scaling up your business, or you want to build out a team site because now you're a broker, whatever, the curve of the life cycle, and really like to see Liftoff Agent at that level. So we'll say 4 million. We'll say 4 million, and let's say 400 agents on the platform by December 31st, 2024. Love that out there right now, man. That was the first time I thought about it, actually.
You know what? That's why we do it, man. And you know what? You guys can see that came from like, I know where I'm at now. Where's this goal going to be? How I'm going to put a little, now it's there, right? Now he's going to go back. He's going to write them things down. He's like, boom, I was on a podcast, $1 million listening with Chris, and here's the goals for 2024. We're going to go hit them now, right? So,
yes.
And that's what friends are there for, man. We're always there. Like for us, I mean, our biggest thing, we want to do 500 million in volume, 100 agents, each agent averaging 5 million basically to us next year by 2024 is a solid win for us. Because at the end of the day, we know we can get there. We know we can, we provide the tools, the systems. I mean, we have VA support for our agents. I mean, real quick, I'm going to give ourselves a plug since, I don't plug us enough. I'm also plug us right now. Listen, guys, if you're looking to grow your business, E3 is the place to be. I'll tell you what. Basically, we have everything you need from an agent starting up. We have a 90-day jumpstart program, which we are sharing with the Tom Ferry ecosystem. It's literally playbook after playbook. It has about 15 additional playbooks inside of there. Everything from your CRM support, getting up and running, to your email marketing, getting up and running, to your videos being done. So you have action plans built for all of your buyers and sellers and lending dialed in. So every single personal prospect that comes into your database is getting educated throughout the process. That's just the starting point of it. We can dive deeper into that 90-day playbook, but also we have video here for you guys. We have 2 full-time editors. We also have an IT support. We have pretty much 9 VAs here to support our agents to get their businesses up and running. So just like Norman's helping themselves out, we're doing the exact same thing on the other side, right? So we're very aligned with, we have to support our team, right? As well as a capping system. So at the end of the day, guys, if you haven't looked at E3 Realty, if you're kind of just, listen, at the end of the day, thinking about making a move, or even just thinking about wanting to see what's out there, just give us a call, man. I'd be more than happy to show you how to help our agents, man. So that being said, we're just about done. Any final things you want to say, Norman, before we head out?
Yeah, I think, E3 and Liftoff definitely could be a great partnership for any agents that are looking to scale up their businesses. At the end of the day, it's like, know where you want to go. If you don't know where you don't want to go, then you're not going to get there. If you want to take a vacation, but you don't know where you want to go, you never take vacation. So know where you want to go. Doesn't matter how you specifically need to get there. You'll get there as long as you have a plan as far as writing it down. Go on Google, print out the pictures, make a vision board, look at it every single day, tell other people that this is what you're going to do, because that's a huge part of manifestation, is just telling people. That's why Chris just asked me that. And send me a personalized DM. I love to support, love to serve however I possibly can, and take action. Definitely take action. It doesn't matter what it is. Just do something, like send me that DM, or, read a couple of the books that we just talked about, or hit up Chris in E3 and their location and see what they have to offer to you. So, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome, Norman. We appreciate you coming on $1 Million Listening. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. Liftoffagent.com, phenomenal website, phenomenal owners, great product, guys. I promise you, just start following them. You'll see the entrepreneur Norman at work daily, guys. Like this guy, morning to evening to working out. He's always just trying to provide value for you to help you grow your business, whether you use the systems or not that he provides, I promise you, just tap in with him and it's going to be really, really good for your business. Thank you again, Norman, for hopping on, man. I truly do appreciate it. And I know you're going to be here in a couple of weeks, man. I'm missing you because I'm going to be in Dallas and then this, that, and the other. Actually, before you go, are you going to Summit? You going to Tom Ferry Summit?
I'm not, but I definitely need to check that out. And I'm also looking at the Forward event too. So I'm looking at a couple of events right now. So I need to check that out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it, Norman. I'll talk to you soon.
Bro. Thank you so much for having me on.
Anytime.